morning, and warning on this Wednesday morning, this session might hurt a little bit. We need to dig in a little bit on this topic. Number 9 of our leadership qualities, and that's high self-awareness. You know, honest self-evaluations is the number one priority that we have to do. Knowing our strength, knowing our weaknesses, knowing what we're great at, how we can have, our strengths. Really, if you think about it, that's our highest efficiency. Those are usually, especially most of the people that are watching this, that's probably our highest dollar productivity thing that we do. Now, when we talk about our self-awareness, we also have to talk about what our weaknesses are. And in most people that are watching this, it's usually operations, it's usually details, it's usually systems, especially great salespeople. The I personality is a natural born salesperson. And if you are listening to this and you are a solid center I or higher, you're probably horrible at details. We know that's your weakness. However, you are absolutely amazing at sales. So if you're a D, okay, well, sometimes you're good at sales. Sometimes you're just a little too abrupt. However, C's and D's, awesome systems people. Okay? S's, you're all over the place. You're my feelings, I don't want to tell you what your strengths and weaknesses are because your weaknesses, feelings get hurt sometimes. So I'm going to tell you right now, no matter what personality you are, no matter what you do, for the company you're in, if you own the company, if you're a team leader or whatever, you've got to do a honest self-evaluation on yourself. And you know what? It is probably going to hurt, but you have to be open and it has to be transparent. Your team has to know that they can come to you and say, look, one of my team members came up and said, Bubba, you seemed a little harsh on that last one. Was there, did I take it the wrong way? And you know what? I was just not in the best of mood when I talked about it. So if my team is aware of what my strengths and my weaknesses are, I have to be transparent enough for people to come to me. It's hard for me to explain this because some of you are going to take offense to it, but you don't know everything. Okay? I don't know everything. And I'll never say that I will. I read help books. I read books. I have a coach. I'm in Andy Andrews' Unshaken Entrepreneur. I have coaches that work with me on presentations, on speaking. I'm all about it. I'm not perfect. I've been blessed with the opportunity to be able to share my knowledge over the past two decades in this industry. However, I know that doing my self-awareness, what it's done is it's leading me to be aware of the value that others bring to the table. If you think you can do everything, I'm sorry, you're wrong. You might be a great chef, but you can't own a great restaurant if you're just a great chef because you can't be the busboy, the hostess, the server, the cashier. You can't. It takes a team to do it. So focus on what your highest efficiencies are. Focus on your strength and be humble enough to know that your weaknesses can be filled by other people. Now, when we talk about delegating, we talked about it in another series. There's a difference between delegation and abandoning. Don't just throw the stuff off and then run and expect it to be done. There is effective delegation tools, which means we're going to delegate it and we're going to inspect what we expect. We'll still oversee the process. So I want you to have comfortable confidence in what you do. And there's a big difference between being arrogant and confident. We want to be in we want to be in the confident stage, not in the arrogant stage. That one almost came out. I apologize for that one. If you know who you are and you know who you want to be, you also need to be self-aware of who you are becoming. Because sometimes success is driving you into something that you didn't want to be. However, you're not recognizing it. And that's why the high self-awareness and being able to do honest evaluations, doing a CEO 360 or a manager 360, having your team evaluate you on what your strengths and weaknesses are is probably one of the most eye-opening things that you can do. However, you have to be humble and transparent enough to know that some of the information is going to come back and it's not going to feel very good. So, to close, the person who's most aware of themselves is the person most suited to lead others. If you have this false insecurity or you're faking it till you're making it, people will know. All right? So, again, high self-awareness. We're on number 9 of 10, and we're going to close it out next week. You have an amazing Wednesday. As you can tell, my next coaching call's on the line. Okay? And God bless, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.